Hello and welcome, lovers. This is Love Dr. Pamela Smith. You know how I do it. I give you real solutions, real strategies to finding love, getting love, keeping love. And I do that by giving you tips, ideas, and techniques to love. Now, love and relationships, okay? Now, as you see, what is my topic tonight? What is your take on orgasm? What are we talking about when it comes to orgasm? And I wanted to have this conversation because everything have to do with your getting self in order first, okay? So for you to have a great relationship with someone else, you've got to be self in order, okay? Of understanding how to make someone excited, how to make sure someone loves you, the person, and so that you can have great relationships with your mate. All right, now, so let's talk about this for a minute. This one is what the orgasm, and you know how I do it. I gotta define it. So what is it? What is an orgasm? So orgasm is a climax of a sexual excitement, a feeling of pleasure that men have in the genitals for men, and the vagina for women, which we call climaxing or coming, okay? That's the orgasm. It's the sexual excitement of releasing and feeling good through pleasure, okay? Now, what are forms of, I would say, forms of orgasm? And this is where you all need to go and research and study more. I'm not going to talk about a detail about a lot of things in here. I'm just giving you a quick conversation, but you are going to have to go and study some of the things I'm teaching, okay? But let's talk about what are the forms of an orgasm. Also, I forgot, make sure you send this to, share it with others. Because you have some people out here who really don't know about how to be excited in the bedroom and what it takes to be excited in the bedroom. So share with others, your friends. Make sure you continue to follow and don't forget about the YouTube, okay? So make sure you send this over to some people because they need this. Now, what are the forms of orgasm, okay? There's a dysfunctional form and there's a functional form. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to that. So let's talk about first, what could be a dysfunctional form of orgasm? It could be unable to have an orgasm. It could be skipped orgasm. It could be a retarded type of orgasm. It could be tension orgasm. It could be pressure orgasm. Those are dysfunctional. They still happen, but they're a dysfunctional form because they can be intense, okay? Now, functional orgasm, or like your excitement of it, the desire of orgasm, the multiple orgasm, combination orgasm, and then of course the relaxation of orgasm. Because you got to remember, most I'm talking about are geared toward men having more genital stimulation than women, but each person can have orgasm, be it physical or emotional or mental, okay? Remember, orgasm just not formed on the basis of an act of sex, okay? Or intercourse. Now, what goes on when you have an orgasm? There's a step to it. There's a step to the orgasm and what happens. What do I mean by that? First, you're excited. You're excited about what is about to happen. You're excited about the act of getting in a relationship with someone. You're excited about the act of sex. Then there's the plateau. The plateau is what? Is when you're in it and you're trying to prevent it. And then you have the orgasm. And then there's the resolution. Got it? I know everybody was like, well, what is she talking about? What goes on? Okay, so you're excited, you have the plateau, you have that orgasm, and then the resolution, which is when you're coming down. Okay? So that's what goes on when you are having an orgasm or in the act of orgasm. So what are types of orgasm? And this is where you need to write down, go study it, bring it up, because there are different types of orgasms, okay? There's unigasms, there's bigasms, there's trigasms, there's blended orgasms, there's fantasy orgasms, and there's G-spot orgasm, right? So we all know what a G-spot orgasm is, right? That's just you're penetrating a certain spot in each other's part. There's a special spot for the men and there's a special spot for women, which is we call a G-spot orgasm, okay? Then you have the fantasy orgasm, which is dealing with what? The mental stimulation, okay? So those are types of orgasm. If you don't know what the other ones are, we're not going to go into detail. Make sure you check it out. You got the remember I said trigasms, the bigasm, the unigasm, and the blended orgasm, okay? But most of you know about fantasy orgasm, G-spot orgasms, and, multiple orgasms. You know about those. Now, the reality about orgasm is that orgasms have benefits. Health benefits, mental benefits. Health benefits is it can help relieve stress, and that helps with your mental state of mind. So orgasm help with a lot of things, a lot. We'll talk about another talk on what's the benefit of an orgasm when it comes to your health. There's some benefits on that. Okay, and then understand that people of all genders can have an orgasm or will experience it. And as you know, as a young man or woman, it happens, of course, early in age. Okay? But it can continue. Doesn't necessarily mean you actually had an intercourse, but you can have a mental orgasm and it can stimulate through the body. Okay? But it is powerful. Orgasm is a powerful feeling of physical pleasure and a mental pleasure. And so to understand about why you need to know what you can and what you can do, if you can't have that type of orgasm, you can have this type of orgasm. You should want to understand what they are and how they help you. And this is why I wanted to have the talk about it, because there's so many myths about orgasm, and a lot of people only think there's one way, only think there's a couple of steps to orgasm. And this is why you need to know so that you can keep your relationships exciting. And that's why you need to know about certain things. This is why I do my talks. My talks are to help you understand things that you just don't think about. Because this different talks, different situation is going to help you within your relationship. And this is why I like to do my talks with you. So it's just a good idea to understand and recognize how it helps a woman, how it helps a man, and just knowing how you can have insight into having great love and great sex. Because there's so many ways to do that, and it helps transform your sexual experience, and it helps you better connect with your mate. So you need to understand what orgasms are about. And the main thing about it, and I'm going to end it here, is the reason why you have to understand is that our men make an assumption that women have orgasm. And women make the assumption because a man ejaculates is a form of his orgasm. And it could be just a release. And see, orgasm also has a lot to do with how we feel and how we're releasing ourselves. Not just having just having an orgasm and say, okay, I got that person off. Not necessarily true. And this is why you have to understand the key to connecting. Because once you can learn how to connect deeply with someone, you will experience greater orgasms than you've ever imagined. And that's why it's so important to understand what they are. Okay? So I hope that helped you out, and give you some insight about orgasms. And if you have any questions or and want to talk more about a different the benefits, I will come back. I don't know when I'll do that particular topic, but I will. And we'll talk about the benefits that it has on your health, on your mental health, and on your physical health. And so this conversation about orgasm needed to be talked about because the key that what I want you to have is better connection with your mate. Okay? So you've been with the Love Dr. Pamela Smith. Thank you for joining me this evening as we talk about relationships here and love and understanding. So just remember, if you're single, be patient. Your mate is coming, and you'll find the mate that you're seeking. If you're already in a relationship, what I say, you got to keep it peace, joy, and happiness. So thank you for joining the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show, and we'll be back again in a couple of days as we talk more about love, love, love.